Ask her.
Yes. What's the matter? What's wrong?
So it touched the back of my head.
Tonight, Most Haunted answer a call from the family that live in fear.
Tonight. Oh my God!
Hello and welcome to Most Haunted.
Imagine your house, a family home like any other, but then add 3 decades of disturbing phenomena, with several spine-chilling poltergeist encounters thrown in for good measure. That fate has struck one particular abode in Devon, but can we help to end the reign of terror that exists at Lower Southwood Cottage? Lying on the eastern outskirts of Exeter, Lower Southwood consists of 2 cottages that both belong to the same family. Parts of this modern-day home still date back to its original construction in the early 17th century. The land was predominantly owned by the St Hills until 1812, when the Porter family took charge. And apart from hosting the RAF during World War II, Lower Southwood has acted in line with normal family life. So what was the catalyst that sparked its sudden influx of spiritual activity? And light anomalies and temperature changes aside, why is this cottage dominated by varied and often violent tales of poltergeist behaviour?
I would say that this is probably one of the most credible places that Most Haunted have been to. These people have no axe to grind. They do not sell haunted weekends. They're not open to the public. There's no reason for them to get Most Haunted here, apart from the fact that they're interested in the ghosts that they've got and they want to find out more about them. To me, it's incredible. It's mainly poltergeist activity here in the place.
The most frightening for me was the third of the third of the third, when I got up in the middle of the night and found a whole room completely trashed, furniture upended, a table turned on its sides, knives stuck in a knife block, which is quite worrying for me because I have small children. And for the whole evening, things were really quite scary and frightening.
Throughout the whole building, poltergeist activity is prevalent. Here in the sitting room of cottage number 1, the owners say that a mischievous spirit likes to turn this coffee table upside down and move other objects around the room. But this isn't the only spirit that allegedly inhabits this particular part of the house. Here in the main bedroom, the current owners and previous tenants have reported seeing the ghost of an old lady who likes to poke her head around the doors. Also, dark figures have been seen floating across the floor.
Probably the most amazing case is that they used to keep one of the cats in a cage. And one day they came downstairs and found the cat out of the cage and the dog in the cage with the door of the cage closed and a chair up against it. Now, 1 or 2 of these things you can explain as yeah, mistake, someone's playing pranks, but these have been going on for the best part of 30 to 35 years. It's driving the family mad and they want to know what's going on.
All over Cottage 2, heavy footsteps are often heard and strange mutterings echo throughout every room. The ghost of a little girl has been seen many times and is often blamed for the plethora of toys that go missing. As well as this phenomena, the ghost of a man wearing an RAF uniform has also been seen.
I definitely believe that this place is definitely haunted. There's no underlying, oh, it might not be, it might be. I've seen things, I've heard things. This place is definitely 100% haunted.
A poltergeist is said to have made its home here in the kitchen, where it likes to take knives out of the drawer and stick them in the top of the breadboard. People also feel that they're being watched in here, and they generally just don't like the feeling in this particular room. So what has a hold over these cottages? So much so that the owners felt compelled to call in the Most Haunted crew. We have 24 hours to find out.
So, having answered this family's call, how can the Most Haunted team assist those that live here? And as parapsychologist Kieran O'Keefe and I were keen to discuss, how do they cope when faced with so much upheaval?
Kieran, this is really exciting because, of course, this family called us in to investigate their property. How they're managing to live here with what they're reporting as paranormal activity, I don't know, I don't understand.
It's very, very strange. And also speaking to the family, even though they have called in the most haunted crew to investigate, they seem quite comfortable with a lot of the phenomena. You know, they're reporting what they call poltergeist activity and some of the childhood experiences that the mother has had. They're reporting it in such a way that they do feel very comfortable about it. So I'm not overly concerned about the family coping with the activity, but I'm interested to see what we come up with later on.
And what sort of things that you've been hearing from the family are interesting you the most?
The main thing is what they refer to as poltergeist activity, and I think they misunderstand the term. Essentially what they're talking about are Apports and Apports. That's objects that go missing and then inexplicably return. Now, with a lot of these particular cases, when things go missing, you can just put it down to memory. Just you forget where you put it initially. But with a lot of their objects, they appear to show or reappear a couple of weeks later in a completely different area of the house. Now, the interesting thing about this is it's not focused around one particular member of the family. It appears to be happening to the grandmother, also the mother, and also now the children to some extent. And because of this generational difference, I think parapsychologists would logically argue it's not so much a PK energy, but maybe more of a spirit energy that we're looking at.
So will we be privy to the things that these two adjoining cottages regularly report to go bump in the night? And with regular medium David Wells also eager to answer our questions, Lower Southwood seemed the perfect place to welcome our new spiritualist medium, Gordon Smith, into our investigative team. And surely the phenomena witnessed here ensured that a baptism of fire awaited our new recruit. So would our wind of change also sweep out the troubled times said to exist at Lower Southwood Cottage?
Very interesting place, this of it. The moment you come into this room, you can actually feel, I would say, what I would call some kind of disturbance, where there's been actual physical things moved around. I don't know that there's anything associated just with this room or the house. I would imagine things have happened a lot more.
Yeah.
I don't feel a person sort of trapped in this room or held to this one room, but I certainly get a really vibrant energy in here.
And it's causing the furniture to move around?
I felt not only furniture moving, I hear noises like there's some kind of almost real poltergeist noises, the noises that people would associate with poltergeist.
So the family that live here, they're not imagining the things that are going on?
No, I wouldn't say so.
And it's definitely spiritual activity, it's not them causing it?
I think that there's a variation. I do feel a spirit presence coming and going. There's moments where I feel his presence very, very strong. I feel as though it's the father of the woman who owns the house or who's associated with the house, and I feel his presence really strong here. I also get the sense that he's died here, not in this room, but here.
Okay.
He's died in this house.
And do you feel he is solely responsible for this furniture moving throughout the whole house? No.
No, I don't think that that's all spiritual activity. I think he has tried to attract people, but I do feel as though there's something among the people themselves that is actually furthering this or causing it. And it's almost like if they've seen something move, then they first of all look at it as something supernatural, which it is, but in their minds it's being heightened. And there's also a connection to one of the women in the house that I feel strongly misses him, and there's a pull on him.
Ah, I see.
And there's a lot of stuff coming from her, I would say, as well. And it's her need, and she's quiet, and it's in her quietness she's almost demanding his presence.
Are solitude and heartbreak the real reasons that a poltergeist strikes within this building? And in addition to identifying a protagonist, how can Gordon and David help a family to cope with their continual nightmare? Another night of hauntings and hysterics await us at Lower Southwood Cottage.